You've probably been told that if you're just a nice person in life, that things will work out for you. You're told to be polite, to be respectful, to be available when people ask for help. And maybe things didn't work out, but you were told this at a very young age. I remember believing this myself. I was respectful. I tried to help people out whenever I could. And slowly, over time, I noticed that life didn't align quite the way I thought it would. Surprisingly, I started to realize that the world didn't exactly run on niceness, and it probably never will. You need to know what you're good at, you need to know what you stand for, you need to be confident in doing both of these things, and then you need to understand that not everyone's going to agree with your ideologies. You can't make everyone happy, and those things are very different to being a nice person. Where people go wrong is they confuse niceness with you being a passive person. And of course, that doesn't help your case at all. I can't remember the last time I was nice and it actually granted me success. Just by being polite, I became successful. That's never happened to me. I remember there was this time where I was in work and I just said yes to everyone. It was one of my first jobs. I think it was at an ice cream parlor actually. I'll just say yes to everyone. If somebody needed cover for a shift, I'd just say yes. If somebody needed me to cover them on a station that I wasn't even working at, I'd just say yes. If somebody needed me to stay late, I'd just say yes. I'd continue to say yes, and it got to a point where people would just expect me to say yes all the time, regardless of what I was doing. It just became an expectation. My method of thinking back then is if I'm just a nice guy and I'm the kind guy who does things for people, people will notice it. And they did notice it. So I'd reached my objective. I just wasn't rewarded for it. There was no incentive for me. I came to realize that there was no reward because they just expected it. I became this guy who wanted to be nice, wanted to be an asset to people. But instead, I was just building a reputation of the guy who never said no. And when you never say no, people will always try and push your boundaries. They'll always try and test you. It's all well and good being a good person, and it's good being respectful as well, but you need to distinguish the difference between kindness and weakness. Kindness is always a choice. You don't owe that to anybody. You can be kind at whatever time you feel like it. But weakness comes from a place of fear, and niceness is often associated with weakness. There's fear of rejection, there's fear of being disliked, and there's fear of confrontation, and that fear also leaks into other areas of your life. Let's talk about something that most guys can relate to. Girls. There was a time where I used to think that being the nicest guy possible was the quickest way to get the girl I wanted. Always making time, always rescheduling, always accommodating, always being nice. I thought that was the quickest way to get the girl I wanted, and in my head I thought that'll show her that I care and that'll show her that I'm surely the best option, right? And it took me a while to actually understand why it is that I wasn't getting chosen, and that was because most people don't actually respect somebody who doesn't respect their own time. If you're always available, if you're always accommodating, then that just shows that you don't have anything going for yourself, and that changes the dynamic. You don't have any direction, you don't have any standards, so why would you be worthy of respect? And respect is the number one thing, because if somebody doesn't respect you, then they're not going to give you the time of day. So I was missing that one key aspect. All I had to do back then was be somebody who respected their own time and be like, I'm busy that day, or I'm not available that day. Not in a rude way, of course, but in a confident way. That's all I had to do. Instead, I turned myself into a nice person, not because I genuinely wanted to be, but because I was hoping for approval. I was hoping for validation. I told myself that because there's plenty of other bad guys out there, there's less ideal options, there's people who are not available, that I'm the cure to that kind of disease because I'm always nice and I'm always accommodating. But life taught me very, very quickly, and I hope it doesn't teach you too. I hope you take on board what I'm saying. And there's a general rule of life. If you put yourself second, then other people aren't going to respect you. If you put yourself second all the time, I wouldn't respect you. Why would I? This doesn't just apply to dating, it applies to life, and it will show. You will always shrink your opinions to appeal to others. You'll avoid taking risks because you don't want to offend anyone. It's an exhausting existence. And the question I ask myself, just to make this shift in mentality and also identity as well, Do I want to be liked or loved by everyone, or be liked by the right people? I think that really helps me progress because I understood that you can't please everyone. Pleasing everyone means you have no backbone, you have no arguments, you have no standards, you don't stand for anything. You're just an empty vessel. Anyone who's created anything meaningful in life, they may not be popular. People disagree with them. But I know in their old age, they don't have any regrets about how they lived life, or if they do have regrets, they're very few. And I'm still figuring this out for myself because there's some times where I feel like to myself, maybe I should just say yes, just to keep the peace and just to keep everyone happy. And before I can actually make an answer in that, I always ask myself this question: am I saying yes just to be kind? Am I saying yes because I'm afraid of standing up for myself? Because real kindness should always come from a place of strength. You should always hold the leverage. You can say no, but you choose to help anyway. That is strength. You should always be negotiating with yourself from a place of power, not a place of weakness. So when I say nice guys finish last, what I mean to say is the world doesn't just reward people who are simply agreeable. It rewards people who are confident, competent, and clear about who they are as a person. That's what it looks for. You can still be respectful, you can still treat people well, but you also need self-respect, and you need the ability to say, this doesn't work out for me. The moment you stop chasing approval, you finally start building a life that belongs to you. And then you can start loving yourself. Why would you not want to love yourself? Once again, for those of you who have made it to the end of the video, I just want to say I'm thankful to all of you. I hope you were able to extract a clear and concise message from this. I hope I articulated myself well and you have a lot of clarity going forth. I hope that you apply the things that I've spoken about in this, of course, YouTube video, and I hope that going forward you can actually build a life that does belong to you, of course, and not live for other people. Because living for other people is just boring. It's an exhausting existence. Like I said, you'd rather love yourself than hate yourself. So I hope going forward you can do that. If you did enjoy what I had to offer in this video, make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Share it to a friend or family member who you think may need to see and hear this video. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded people on the path of self-development, then I'll leave a link down below in the description as well as the comment section. There'll be a link to the Kaizen community, and I'd love to see some of you in there. In fact, all of you in there, of course. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and God bless.